welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today let's talk about why we should stop being so quick to judge. You don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know someone else's story. So you judging is not your place. And that may sound a little harsh or like I'm trying to have attitude, but I'm not. I'm just saying that me and myself, like, even this is mainly just for myself, you know, seeing someone do something that maybe I in particular wouldn't think to do or wouldn't feel comfortable doing, or treating someone a certain way, you know, and it is something that I feel like I wouldn't do, or making decisions that I feel like I wouldn't make, it puts me into a position where I automatically judge, or even in my mind I'm judging someone else for making a certain decision or doing things a certain way and living their lives a certain way when it's not my life. And a lot of us do that, even if we're not speaking it out of our mouths or saying it to that person or posting about it, we're thinking it in our mind. So that's still just as bad, because God knows what your thoughts are. So even though it's between you and God in a sense, that's the worst, because God told you you're not supposed to do that. He's telling you that you're not supposed to be judging anybody. It's not our job to judge anybody. Yet here we are in our mind constantly judging people. Why would this person get that? Like, they don't deserve this, and they're dumb for putting up with this or putting up with that. But you don't know that person's story. You don't know why they're putting up with stuff. You don't know why they did the things that they done. You don't know why they're making the decisions that they're making. Yet you're making up a whole story in your mind about what you believe they should be doing, and because they're not doing that, they're wrong, or they're ignorant, or they're terrible people, when you don't know. If you were in that same position, you don't know what you would do. And that's the thing about life. Everything that you judge someone else for, or things that you would say, oh, I would never do that, it'll come across in your life somewhere. It may not be at that time. It may take a couple years, but it'll come across in your life somewhere where now you see how that other person felt. Now you understand why that person did what they did, or why their situation may have seemed kind of crazy, but now it makes sense to you, because now you're in that position and you're like, they probably didn't have a choice, because I don't have a choice. Now I understand why they had to do this. They had to say that. They had to walk away. They had to cut off friends. They had to leave the relationship. They had to stay. Whatever the situation is, then you understand. But stop having to learn the hard way. That's what I found for myself, is I've had to learn the hard way when it comes to judging people, because God will put me in that same exact predicament. Oh, I don't see how a person could live this type of lifestyle. I lived it. I don't see how this person could put up with this. I put up with it. Because later on in life, it came to me and it was put on my plate, and it was like, God was like, well, what you gonna do with it? Now that you have this opportunity, and now it looks good to you, and now, you know, the eyes are looking like they're more in your favor to do this, what are you going to do? And it's so funny how we give ourselves excuses, but we judge everyone else. You could do the exact same thing that someone else did a month or two ago, that you were judging them and saying, you know, they're foolish. You hope they get caught. You know, you would never do that. You can never put up with a person like that. You can never, whatever the situation was that they're doing. And then it happens to you, and now you have an excuse for you. Now you have extra padding underneath your tail, because you're like, okay, well, I'm doing this because, you know, I've been with this person for 7 years. They've only been with that person for 2 years, and they put up with someone cheating on them or leaving, and then now they're back together. So of course I'm going to stay, because I've been with this person so much longer. So that's why my situation is different. No, because there's somebody else who is still sitting on a high horse looking down on other people, who's still going to look at your situation and say, you're foolish for staying with that person. You're foolish for begging to be in that relationship still. So just like you didn't give the other person any mercy or any grace for the decisions that they made for their life, put it on yourself. Put it on yourself and see how that feels. And then when other people are talking about you now and they're judging you now you want to be defensive and you want to put out all the reasons why you were right for making the decisions that you've made and why it's nobody's business. But you didn't give that same person that was minding their business, going through their stuff, their hard times, you didn't give them the same grace, did you? Stop being so quick to judge, because as long as you're breathing, as long as you're walking, as long as you have a life, you can go through that very same thing. You're not exempt from it. Just because it hasn't happened to you, it does not mean that it's not. You could be married for 30, 40 years and had a beautiful relationship. The moment you start judging somebody else's relationship because, did you hear about Sally's man? Oh, girl, like they about to go to divorce because he left and he had a whole nother girlfriend and he was doing this and he was doing that, or she ended up cheating and she got a new man, girl, and now her husband want to leave her. While you're all talking about people's business and talking about, yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm with them, like they should leave, and I couldn't be with somebody or put up with that. And did you hear that they was together for a whole year after knowing that this was going on, and they needed that divorce, and then as soon as this happened to you, you over here screaming and begging and trying to pull on the coattail of the person that should be kicked out your life as well. Stop judging. It's not your place. Your 2 cents is not going to make or break anybody. If it's not going to be positive thinking, if it's not words of encouragement, if it's not ways of saying, look, I understand you're going through some things, and if you need me, I'm here, and it's genuine, keep your mouth shut, keep your mind off other people, mind your business, and do what you have to do for you, because you don't want that to come back on you. Karma is real, and life is real. And if what I'm saying is, if you don't believe in karma, you don't believe in that kind of stuff, you're not superstitious like that, I get it, but life will happen. You can't stop that. You cannot, you can say, oh, that won't happen to me because I'm going to make sure that I dot all my I's and cross all my T's. Yeah, but it's going to still. Because you didn't understand what somebody, you didn't have empathy for somebody else that was going through something. So now God's going to have to humble you. And so you better hurry up. Before you get to that place, you better hurry up and make sure that you're changing your mind and you're keeping your mouth off of people. You're not gossiping about other people. You're not judging them for things that they're doing with their lives. It's their lives, and whatever they're doing is between them and God, and they have to reap that. But you coming in, adding your 2 cents, connecting yourself to what they're going to have to reap, is foolish, because now you're going to have to reap too, because now you're going to have to learn the lesson too, because you meddle in somebody else's business that wasn't nothing. There was nothing for you to even meddle in the first place. You just wanted to gossip, or you wanted to judge, or you wanted to feel better about your life or the decisions that you've made because maybe you didn't go through or do the things that person has done or what's going on in their lives. You didn't have to do all that. So you feel like you were safe to speak on somebody else's situation. Y'all better make sure that you're careful out here. And that's anything, any area, work, school, relationships, being parents, whatever, everything this applies to. It's not just relationships. It just seems like it's the easiest, funnest topic to talk about when it comes to people's relationships, which is ridiculous because we all want a relationship. So why are you putting yourself in a position to have to reap that? Or to have to learn the hard way while you're judging somebody else's situation? Because you're going to be put in that same situation. It's going to be like, hey, what you going to do now? But I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I've lived it a few times from judging people. And sometimes we ask, why God? Why me? Why me? I didn't do anything wrong. But you did, because God can hear your thoughts. He can hear your heart. He hears what you're saying to your friends and your family. He hears the gossip that you're spreading. He hears you talking down about other people. And even though you may have not physically done anything, you're having to reap it because now you have to you have to learn how to empathize with somebody else. And now it's going to go from empathy and giving grace and being sparing to someone else. Now it's going to go to having to sympathize with them, because now you're going to understand. When you were going through something, you needed people to understand what you're going through, and you needed sympathy. And only people who can truly give you sympathy are the people who's been there before. And so now you put yourself in position now that you're going to be a lesson for someone else. You're going to be a testimony for someone else. All because you wanted to judge somebody. It's not worth it. But you let me know what you think. We'll keep the conversation going. As usual, all I ask is that we're polite and courteous in the comment box, because we're not here to tear each other down or to make each other feel foolish or less than because we don't think the same. We're human. We have our own minds. It's okay to think differently, y'all. We are here to give each other different perspectives to look at things, and that's what I love most about our channel. So put your comments in the comment box below, and we will keep the conversation going and talk next time. Bye.